We're having number two. I know I was supposed to stop. So I apologize, but this video needed to be made. Alright. So, a young person in the comments, I first want to say I'm sorry to you, and I will respectfully make another Crow review to the trailer without swearing right now. Alright. So I'm really bad with my mouth. So I do apologize for that. Also, I'm 5'3". I will never ever look big to anyone. So there's that. So I watched The Crow, the remake. I'm really not happy. I'm not as angry as I was when I made the video with the swearing in it. But we will say this, that I would rather them have made a new Crow, like a number 5, instead of going back and redoing Eric Draven. All right. Now I know Eric Draven is probably the most popular Crow. If you guys haven't read the Crow book, any of them, then you probably only know Eric Draven. And if you've seen the movies, you probably only really know Eric and Ash, because I can't remember who the other two Crows were. And I know in Salvation, the guy who was the Crow had went to. Oh, let me not. I'm not. I'm sorry. I was totally about to spoil that. I don't even know if anybody who's watching this has seen Crow Salvation. And I don't know if anybody has seen Crow Wicked Prayer. So I'm not going to talk about those two movies. However, the remake is a remake or reimagining of the one that Brandon Lee did, which cost him his life. Now, the movie didn't cost him his life, but it was the last film that he ever did. And so, for me, with them remaking that, it's kind of a slap in the face because I really loved Brandon Lee. I really loved his stuff. And when I started wanting to be an actor, I really had hopes and dreams of working with him because I started getting into acting in high school because it was my last year in 1993. So it's like, oh, you know what? I started having fun with this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be an actor. But I really wanted to be a cop more than I wanted to be an actor. And life happens. So I didn't get to be a cop because the only two cops that I wanted to be was either a homicide detective, which Charlottesville doesn't get enough homicides, or at least they didn't back then. And then the only other thing I wanted to be was a state trooper. Well, I'm too short for a state trooper because at the time they had discrimination, and I'm only 5'3". So I'm never gonna get any taller. I'm 50 years old. Anyway, moving on. So when I saw this thing, I can't understand what the heck's happening. All right, almost cussed. I can't understand what they're doing. When the trailer I saw, and I might be misinterpreting it, so please go watch the trailer and then give me your thoughts. Eric Draven was in a prison suit, and Shelley was also like in a prison suit, and I am confused, like out of my mind, confused on what I have been watching. Now, again, I did like when he went way of the samurai to the guy with the sword through himself and getting the other guy. But my Eric Draven, the one Brandon Lee played, the one Mark Dacascos played, was a rock star. He had a band called Hangman's Knot, and it was a good thing. You don't really get to get too much into the band with the movie, except for like a couple of flashbacks and a couple of photos with him in the band when Shelley is attacked and all the other stuff. When you see the new trailer, you do see Shelley being attacked, but you don't get a whole lot about Eric Draven's life. And in the original Crow, you know that Eric was a rock star who took a swan dive out of a 4-story window. You know, that was a quote from Officer Albright. You know, man or woman in lodge. If you're very sensitive on swearing, you probably don't want to watch the first Crow movie because there's a lot of swearing in it. But, hot take, if you don't know who Bai Ling is, you will get to see Bai Ling's backside in the shower in the original Crow. Alright, just a hot take. I like Bai Ling. Not as much as I like the flawlessly beautiful and dangerously sexy Zeta Zhang, but I like Bai Ling. Anyway, moving on. The original movie was dark and gritty, and the soundtrack was awesome. I have it somewhere on a cassette, not a CD, but a cassette. And this trailer for this thing that they're doing, I'm gonna go see it, but I'm not gonna go see it first night. Maybe second or third night when I see someone else that I know has seen it. If they tell me it's a worth seeing, then I'm gonna go see it. Like the same thing when I went to go see Madam Web. Before Madam Web dropped, they just dropped bad reviews on Madam Web. They did the same thing with the Marvels. But when I went to go see the Marvels, I thoroughly enjoyed the Marvels. I'm probably the only person on earth that did. Just like with Madam Web, I'm probably the only person on earth that enjoyed Madam Web. Just like I'm the only person on earth who enjoyed the first cut of the Justice League. I have not seen the Jack Snyder, whoever he is. I haven't seen his. And I enjoyed The Flash. I enjoyed Batman vs. Superman. And I'm probably the only person you will hear say that. I had one Marvel movie that I wasn't too thrilled with. I did not hate it, but they could have done so much more with it, and that was the Eternals. Other than that, Marvel has not let me down. DC has not really let me down. I liked the original Suicide Squad with Will Smith, and I liked the new Suicide Squad with Idris Elba and John Cena. So, I'm not a real hard person to please. It might be because I'm 50, but those movies came out before I was 50. But, I'm not that hard to please. I just like movies and I just like superheroes. And when you combine them together, eureka. But, for this Crow thing, oh my God. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you guys doing? Where's the rock and roll band? What's going on with Eric Draven? Why is he not a rock star? No. And then the other thing is, again, someone please correct me. I swore that they were in prison jumpsuits, which is not cool. It's like, what world are they living in where both of them are in prison jumpsuits? That doesn't make any sense, but hey, I'm not writing the movie. But I definitely, let's say that the project was mine. It would not be a remake of Eric Draven. It really wouldn't. It'd be like, no, we're not touching Brandon Lee's final film. We're not remaking that. No. Mark Dacascos did really well when he did the TV series. We're not touching that. We're leaving Eric Draven done with Brandon, leaving it there. Let that be the masterpiece that it is. We're not going to remake City of Angels. We're not going to make Salvation, and we're not going to make Wicked Prayer. We're going to make a Crow 5, brand new guy. We can give him the same situation as Eric Draven, or we can reverse it and make the girl the Crow instead of making the guy the Crow. No. We'll figure something out, but we're not going to remake it. We're not going to get rid of Eric Draven. We're just going to make a brand new guy. And that's not what they're doing. So that being said, I hope this review is a little bit clearer. There's no cussing. I came really close to cussing, but I specifically made this for the guy in the comment or the girl in the comment that said that I should do another one without the swearing. So for you, I have done that. And again, I'm only 5'3", so I'm never going to look big to anybody. Unless I'm standing over them after I have put them unconscious, which isn't difficult. It's just, I'm a small guy. I'm a really small guy. I'm a $140 and trying to lose weight, and it ain't easy. Especially when I'm about to eat this thing. Anyway, thank you. I love you. I hope this video does you some justice. So, I'm not going to put your name in the thing. No, because it wasn't an insult. You just wanted it without swearing. I hope I pleased you. I probably won't be able to do this to everybody, because if I get signed, let me rephrase that. When I get signed, because I don't do negatives anymore. When I get signed, I probably won't be able to make any more thank you videos. And so I want to be able to do that up until the day I get signed. God willing, I get signed. Alright? And you guys, all 382 of you mean more to me than I mean to you. It might not seem like it because I'm poor and I don't do giveaways and I don't ask for money or any of that stuff, but you guys do mean more to me than I mean to you. And I mean that in the nicest way, because without you guys, I don't have a platform. No, I still have TikTok while it's still here. I still have Instagram, but I started on YouTube. No, My first channel is still up. I just don't have control over it. It's Kung Fu Epic 1. I think there might be 95 people there waiting for something new. And that channel's been up for almost 15 years. This channel's only been up for maybe 11 or 12, but it's up. And because of y'all, I get to vent. I get to have fun. I get to do monologue Mondays. That will be coming back. I just can't guarantee you when. So just bear with me. I get to do live Instagram and TikToks and then run them on here. And I know nobody's watching them, but it's fine because I get to do things that make me happy. And at least one person out of the 382 of you will at least watch it one time, which is great. If somebody watches the video at least one time, I'm happy. And I'm happy because I actually got to film it. I'm happy because I know somebody's going to watch it, but I'm mostly happy because I got to film it and I got to feel alive and free for that 10 minutes or that half an hour or those 2 hours, because y'all know I got some doozies on this thing. But on a side note, if you watch my prep show video, it'll tell you about everything that I have coming down the pipe. So hopefully everything I have coming down the pipe will work in my favor versus not. That being said, I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Habit number 2. I love you. Be seeing you. Goodbye.